points to numbers. Okay, we'll convert members of the sample space into numbers and use those numbers to find out probabilities of certain events. Okay, so let us start with an example. From that we'll try to understand what is exactly random variable. Okay, so let us say we are tossing a coin 3 times, or let us say 3 coins are tossed. Assume that 3 coins are tossed. Toss 3 coins. Okay, so what are the possible outcomes? Head, head, head.
Head, head, head. Tail, tail, tail.
Head, head, tail. Head,
Head, tail, head.
tail, head. Head, tail, tail. Tail, head, head. Tail, HT. Tail, tail, head. Tail, tail, tail. Okay, so these are the 8 elements of the sample space, and I can ask several questions on this, right? What is the probability that all the 3 coins showing head? Okay, what is the probability that there are at least 2 heads? What is the probability that there is no head? What is the probability that there are exactly two tails? Or what is the probability that at most 2 tails? What is the probability that at least 2 tails? Several questions I can ask. Am I right? So for each question we have to write down the statement. Let E1 equal to three coins or 3 heads are appearing. E2 equal to at least 2 heads are appearing. E3 equal to at most 2 heads are appearing. Like that we have to write down. Okay, so instead of that, what we can do is we can map these we can map these elements of the sample space to numbers. Okay, so let us say this is our sample space. This is a set of real numbers. Okay, so I'm writing those possibilities here: head, 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 tail, head. Let me erase it. Head, head, tail, head, tail, head, head, tail, tail, T, head, head, T, head, tail, T, T, head, T, T, T. Okay, so we may define a variable like this: x equal to number of heads appeared when 3 coins are tossed. Okay, so I'm defining a variable like this. Okay, so what happens in this case if I say x equal to number of heads appearing when 3 coins are tossed? Okay, so I'm associating now. So how 3 heads will be mapped? Head will be mapped 3. I said x equal to number of heads appeared when 3 coins are tossed. So number of heads in this case are 3. In this case, how many heads are there? 2.
2.
So I will map to this. In this case, how many?
2.
2. In this case,
1.
1. In this case, 2. In this case, 1. In this case, 1. In this case, how many heads are there?
0.
0. Okay. Okay. So now I have a mapping. I have a mapping from sample points to the set of real numbers. I have mapping from the sample space to the set of real numbers. Now you ask any question. So what do you mean by x equal to 2?
Two heads appeared.
That means what? HHT, HTH, THH. This is the, what is this called? Event. Anything subset of a sample space, any set subset of a sample space is nothing but a event. Am I right? So this is nothing but event. Similarly, I can ask what is x? What is x less than or equals to 1? What do you mean by x less than or equal to 1? What are the possible values are taken by x? Possible values of x are 0, 1, 2, 3. X less than or equal to 1 means either x can be 0 or x can be 1. X0 means what? T. X equal to 1 means what? Head, tail, head. Tail, head, tail, head. Am I right? Or I can ask what is x greater than 3? X greater than 3 means, x, what is x greater than 3? Empty set.
Null set.
Number of heads. What is greater than 4 head, greater than 3 heads impossible, so it's a null set. Or I can ask what is x is greater than 2. X greater than 2 is nothing but what? In our case, x equal to 3. X greater than 3 means head. Right? So so what is happening here? I'm able to replace the description of the event with this mathematical symbols. I'm able to replace the description of the events with the mathematical symbols. You don't need to write down probability of okay, exactly 2 heads. I don't need to write all this English sentence. I can simply write P of x equal to 2. Is this clear? Or I can say probability of at least 2 heads. At least 2 heads means greater than or equals to 2. Simply, instead of writing probability of at least 2 heads, I can simply write it as x greater than or equal to 2. So that is how, okay, we are able to map elements of the sample space to the set of real numbers. Okay. So what is this actually? What kind of this relation called? I have given a relation from the sample space to the set of real numbers, right? What kind of relation
Map.
this is called? Map. What do you mean by map? Function, right? It is a function defined from where to where? X is a function defined from the set of sample space to
Two real numbers.
set of real numbers. X to real numbers. Simply we call it as R dot V. R dot V. Actually, we should call it as a random function. We should call it as a random function, but conventionally it is written as random variable. Okay, so the random variable is a function defined in the set of on the sample space. Random variable is a function defined on the sample space. Any function defined on the sample space which are mapped to the real numbers is said to be a random variable or stochastic variable, because other name for random is stochastic. So it can be called as a random variable or random function or stochastic variable or stochastic function. Please don't confuse with the word variable and function. Interchangeably we'll be using one or the other, but by default I will be calling with the random variable. Okay, so random variables are always generated with capital letters, capital X, capital Y. Okay, in some books they're using lower cases letters to denote the random variable. That is not correct. Lowercase letter is the value of the random variable. and uppercase letter is the random variable actually. Okay, so always remember that random variables are to be denoted with the uppercase letters. Shall I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now, so what is the definition? So random variable definition is random variable. Okay, so it is a function. It is a function. Please make a running notes. Okay, defined on the. It is a function defined on the. It is a what kind of function it is? It is a real valued function. What do you mean by real valued? If the range is a subset of real numbers, that is said to be real valued. Okay, so it is a real valued function defined on the sample space. Sample space S. Okay, it is a function defined on the. It is a real valued function defined on the. So R dot V is a function defined on the set of sample space to real numbers. We are mapping each sample point. We are mapping each member of the sample space with a real number. Okay. Now, what are the different kinds of random variables? Basically, there are two kinds of random variables. So, one is called discrete random variable. One is called discrete random variable. Other one is called continuous random variable. Okay, so discrete random variable, other one is continuous random variable. So what do you mean by discrete random variable? Discrete random variable is a random variable which takes discrete values, or which takes finitely many or countably infinitely many values are said to be discrete random variable. For example, if you are tossing the 3 coins, what are the possible values of the random variable? The possible values of the random variable are 0, 1, 2, 3. Are they finite or not? It is
Yes.
finite.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
whenever the sample space is finite, it is always a discrete random variable. Okay, if you can count, or it can be countably infinite also. It can be countably infinite also. Okay, so suppose I'm asking you to guess an integer. That integer can be from minus infinity to plus infinity. You can guess 2000, you can guess 300, somebody guess 928. How many values are there? Infinitely many. Though there are infinitely many values, you can count those values 1, 2, 3, and so on. That means if you can arrange the values of the random variable in a regular fashion, that is said to be discrete random variable. If it is uncountable, if the number of values are the possible values of the random variable is uncountable or uncountably infinite, that is said to be continuous random variable. So what is an example of a continuous random variable? Let us say the temperature of a room. It can be 23 degrees or 23.1 or 23.123 or 26.4567. It can be in any value, right? It's not necessarily an integer. It can be any value from 0 degrees or minus 300 degrees to 300 degrees. It can take any value over a continuous line, continuous real line. Such type of random variable is said to be continuous random variable. Okay, so if the values are discrete, it is said to be discrete random variable. If the values of the random variable can take any value over a range, that is said to be a continuous random variable. Now I said this random variable generally denotes an event, right? So what are the kinds of events? What kind of events you can see? What are the events? X equal to X. The probability that X equal to 3 heads. X equal to 2 heads. X equal to 0 heads. So X equal to X is an event. X greater than X is an event. X less than X is an event. X greater than or equal to X is an event. X less than or equal to X is an event. Or X1 less than X2 is an event. Or X1 less than X less than or equal to X2 is an event. X1 less than or equal to X less than X2 is an event. Or X1 less than or equal to X less than or equal to X2 is also an event. Do you agree? These are all events. Now, to which we find out the probability? We find out the probability for events. We'll find out the probability for events. So for all these events, I can assign some probabilities. For all these events, I can assign some probabilities. Like probability of 3 hits. What is in the previous case? What is the probability that there is exactly there are at least 2 hits means? What is the probability that there are exactly 2 hits means? 1, 2, there are 3 possibilities. That means 3 by 8. Probability is nothing but the number of favorable cases by total number of possible cases. Okay, so that means what I am telling, I can assign now probabilities. So previously number of heads, so possibilities are like this. I'm just drawing this sample space again. Now after that I will show you one more thing. So what was our previous example? Our random sample space is H, 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 T, H, T, H, H, T, 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 H, H, T, H, T, 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 H, T, T, T. Now we just have seen the possible values of this is 0, 1, 2, 3. I can assign any other value also, but because I am assuming that X equal to number of heads, I am defining like this. See, I am mapping like this. I am mapping like this. I am mapping like this. Okay, so this is called random variable. Okay, though I am repeating, please understand this concept carefully. So this is random variable. Now to each value of the random variable, I can assign some probability. To each value of the random variable, I can assign some probability. So what do you mean by probability that X equal to 0? X equal to 0 means what? There is no head. There is no head means what? All are tails. How many are there? What is the pre-image of 0?
1 by 8.
But pre-image of 0 is only one point. Pre-image of 0 is only 1 point. Therefore, it is 1 by 8. So out of 8 possibilities, there is only one value, only one possibility. Okay, for no head. So this is 1 by 8. Now, what is the next question? Probability that X equal to 1. That means what? Probability that there is exactly one head.
One head.
What is the pre-image of one head? How many are there?
3 by 8.
1, 2, 3 cases. So this is 3 by 8. 3 by 8. Now what about the next case? What is the probability that there are exactly 2 heads? What is the pre-image of 2?
3 by 8.
1, and I think I did not map this. There are three cases. Head here, T head here. Okay, T head tail head. So there is again 3 by 8. Now what is the last probability? Probability that there is exactly 3 heads.
1 by 8.
Okay. So this is 3 by 8, and probability that there are exactly 3 heads is 1 by 8. So all these things can be written in the form of a table. All these things can be written in the form of a table. How? Like this. So what is this value? X values. These are the X values. What are the possible values? 0, 1. I think I should draw one more. These are the X values. 0, 1, 2, 2, 3. Now I am giving an association. Right? What kind of association it is? Again, what kind of association this is? This is also can be called as a, so all this, because these are all probability values. Probabilities values are always in between 0 to 1. Probability values are always in between 0 to 1. So let me call it as F. Let me call it as a F. So if you have a X value, you are mapping this to F of X. F of X is the image, right? What is F of X? That is nothing but probability that X takes the value X. Probability that X takes the value X is nothing but F of X. F of X is giving the probability that the random variable is taking the value X. Okay. So this is nothing but F of X. So what do you mean by F of X? Probability that X takes the value X. That means what do you mean by here? Probability that X takes 0. Probability that X takes 0 means what? There are no heads. What is its probability? 1 by 8. 1 by 8. What is the probability that there is exactly one head?
3 by 8.
3 by 8. What is the probability that there are exactly 2 heads?
3 by
3 by
8.
8. What is the probability that there are 3 heads? 1 by 8. So we have written all these things in the form of a table. In the form of a table. What is this table called? This table is called probability distribution table. Probability distribution or table or simply probability distribution. Probability distribution. Okay, so what is the advantage of having probability distribution? From probability distribution, you can find out any probability. So what is my example in this case? My example in this case is X equal to number of heads, right? My example is X equal, my problem is X equal to number of heads when 3 coins are tossed. Okay. So in this problem now you ask me, my random experiment is tossing 3 coins. So once you have the random experiment, you will have the possible sample points, possible outcomes, and these are the 8 possible outcomes. So once you have the sample space, you can ask any kind of probability about the outcome of the random experiment. Now you ask me any question on this random experiment. Now let us say that what is the probability that there are exactly, what is the probability that there is at least there are at least 2 heads. Probability that at least 2 heads, how do we denote? X greater than or equals to 2. Probability that, am I right? So this is nothing but I can say probability that x equal to 2 plus probability that x equal to 3. Number of heads are 2 or number of heads are 3. What do you mean by P of x equal to 2? See here.
3 by 8.
What do you mean by P of x equal to 2 means? F of 2. What do you mean by P of x equal to 3? That is nothing but f of 3.
F of
Now how do you compute f of 2 and f of 3? You don't need to compute separately. I already have the distribution table. Look at the distribution table, copy the corresponding values of f. So for f of 2, where I have to see here? What is f of 2 value? 3 by 8. Plus what is f of 3 value? 1 by 8.
1 by 8.
So what is the answer?
1 by 2.
1 by 2. That's it. So once you have the distribution table, whatever the probability you want, you can simply look at the distribution table and get the answer. Is that clear? So this is called probability distribution. So what are the properties of this probability distribution? Okay, so this is probability distribution, and this function, what is this function called? Probability function. Probability function, in case of a discrete random variable, we call it as a probability mass function. In case of a discrete random variable, we call it as a probability mass function. 1 second, just 1 second, please. So now do you see the difference between x and f? What is x? X is the function which maps the sample points to real numbers. X is a function which maps sample points to real numbers. And what is f? F is a function which maps those real numbers to probability values. F is a function, S is a probability function which maps those sample points to real numbers. So this is a probability distribution. In case of a random variable, in case of a discrete random variable, I said this is said to be probability mass function. So what are the properties of this probability mass function? That we will see in the next slide. Properties of PMF, probability mass function. PMF. Okay. So first property must be this one. F of x should always be greater than or equal to 0. f of x should always be greater than or equal to 0. That is obvious, right? Probability should never be negative. F of x is nothing but the probability value only, no? So f of x should never be negative. Second one, sum of all probabilities. Sum of all probabilities must be 1. Sum of all the probabilities must be 1. So when you look at the distribution table, when somebody gives you a table and if they claim that it is a distribution table, what is the first step that you have to do? Take the sum of the values of the distribution table. If that is not equal to 1, you simply reject the table. Say that this is not a distribution table. It is not a probability distribution table. It is some other table. Is it okay? See, in this case, you take the sum of all these values 1 by 8 plus 3 by 8 plus 3 by 8 plus 1 by 8,
1.
which is 8 by 8 is
1.
1. Okay, if somebody writes this as 2 by 8 instead of 1 by 8, somebody writes it as 2 by 8, and that will be more than 1. Then you will say that it is not a, sorry sir, this is not a probability distribution. Okay, so this is these are the two most important properties for a probability distribution. Okay, any function satisfying these two, any function satisfying these two will be called as a probability mass function, or probability mass function will have these two properties. Vice versa, it will have both the cases. Okay. Now there is one more. Definition. There is one more definition called cumulative distribution function. Okay. There is one more function called cumulative distribution function. It is denoted with capital F of x. It is denoted with the capital F of x. So what is the definition of cumulative distribution function? This is nothing but sum of the probabilities up to x. Okay, so capital F of x is nothing but probability that x less than or equal to x. Probability that x less than or equal to x. So how do we denote this? Summation f of t less than or equal to x. Summation f of t less than or equal to x. Come back to our previous problem. Tossing 3 heads. Tossing 3 heads. So possible values are 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I'm repeating again 0, 1, 2, 3. What is the corresponding probability mass function? We have seen 1 by 8, 3 by 8, 3 by 8, 1 by 8. As the name suggests, what do you mean by cumulative probability? Sum of the probability values up to x. So what do you mean by capital F of 0? F of 0 means probability that x less than or equal to 0. What is this? In this case, probability of x less than or equal to 0 nothing but probability of x equal to 0, because there is no value negative. There is no negative value. So what is this value? 1 by 8. Now what do you mean by capital F of 1? Probability that
X is less than or equal to 1.
x less than or equal to 1. What do you mean by probability x less than or equal to 1?
P of x equal to 0 plus x equal to 1.
Where is this? Yeah. Is it missed or what? Okay, some by mistake it is cleared. Okay, where I am, I will write this distribution again. Sorry for it. I'll quickly write down. Okay. So x values
0, 1, 2, 3.
there is some problem writing. Zero, 1, 2. So x values 0, 1, 2, 3. F of x values 1 by 8, 3 by 8, 3 by 8, 1 by 8. So I'm talking about capital F of x value. So this is 1 by 8. And cumulative probability f of 1 means f of 0 plus f of 1. That is 1 by 8 plus 3 by 8. That is 4 by 8. 4 by 8. Now what is capital F of 2? Probability that x less than or equals to 2. This is f of 0 plus f of 1 plus f of 2. So for all these values I can simply look at the distribution table and copy. So 1 by 8 plus 3 by 8 plus 3 by 8 is 7 by 8.
7 by 8.
And what is f of 3? Probability that x less than or equal to 3. Probability that x less than or equal to 3. That is f of 0 plus f of 1 plus f of 2 plus f of 3, which is nothing but 8 by 8. So 8 by 8 is nothing but 1.
1.
So this is nothing but summation f of t less than or equals to 2. And this is nothing but summation f of t less than or equal to 3. T less than or equal to 3. Is that okay? So this distribution is called, so f of x is called probability distribution. Probability distribution. And in case of a discrete random variable, we call it as PMF, probability mass function. This capital F is called a distribution, cumulative distribution function. Cumulative distribution function. Cumulative distribution or cumulative distribution, or simply people call it as distribution function. Distribution function. So by default, distribution function means cumulative distribution only. By default, distribution function is cumulative distribution only. Okay. So so this is the very important concept. So so far we discussed about random variable. We discussed about random variable and probability distribution. Corresponding to probability distribution, you have a probability function which is called as a probability mass function. Corresponding to probability mass function, there is one more function called cumulative distribution function, or simply distribution functions. And the properties of probability mass function is f of x is always greater than or equal to 0, and the sum of all probabilities values must be 1. Okay, sum of all probabilities values must be 1. So this is all about discrete random variable. It is all about a discrete random variable. So what can we say about continuous random variable? What can we say about a continuous random variable? So as I said, continuous random variable is a random variable which takes a value over a range of values. Okay. Now, for that we cannot write down the distribution table, because distribution table you can write only when you can count the number of possible values. So for each possible value you can assign a probability, so that you will have a probability distribution table when you have a when your range space of a random variable is finite. but it is infinite or accountably infinite, it is not possible to write in the form of a table. And there is no point in assigning the probability for a particular point for a continuous random variable. For example, if I ask you what is the probability that the room temperature is 23 degrees, 23.4528 degrees, 23.4528 degrees. What will be the probability? It is almost zero. When you measure the room temperature with a thermometer or some instrument, okay, there is almost the probability will be zero. The probability that whatever the value, whatever the temperature value I'm telling, that temperature may not be there. Okay, so there is no point in asking probability of a continuous random variable at a particular point. Probability of a continuous random variable at a particular point will be zero. But if I ask you what will the room temperature, what is the probability the room temperature in between 20 degrees to 25 degrees? You will say certain probability, right? So there is a 10% of chance, or there is a 60% of chance that the room temperature is in between 20 degrees to 25 degrees. Right? So for a continuous random variable, we talk about probability not at a particular point. We talk a probability at a over a range of values. Take another example. Are you able to see this dot board? Are you able to see this dot board?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if I ask you what is the probability that you hit with this dot exactly at this point? There are infinitely points are there. If I ask you exactly at this point what will be the probability, means you will say zero. There is no point in asking about the probability of hitting this dot at this point is zero. But if I ask you what is the probability that you hitting the dot board in this range, in this area, or in this area, there is some probability, there is some chance, that you hitting this area, there is some chance, right? So it is meaningful in asking the probability of a random variable, in asking the probability of a continuous random variable over a range rather than at a point. Okay, so that is what we do. That is what we do for a continuous random variable. In continuous random variable, we'll find out the probability of a random variable over a range. Okay, so the probability function corresponding to the continuous random variable is said to be probability density function. Okay, so what is continuous random variable? It is a random variable. It is a random variable which takes any value over a range of values. These range of values are infinite, uncountably infinite. So what is the corresponding function called? Probability, what is it? Probability density function. Probability density function. In brackets we call it as PDF. We call it as PDF. PDF means probability density function. Okay, so a function satisfying the following properties. Okay, any function following properties or conditions is said to be PDF. Okay, properties. Okay, if X is a continuous random variable. If X is a continuous random, what are the properties? First one, like the previous case, f of x should always be greater than or equal to 0 for all x belongs to S. For all x belongs to not S, the range of x. Range of x, or you can say simply for all x, for all possible values of x. Second one, f of x must be equal to what? Sorry. What is f of x? Right, f of x. Probability that a less than x less than b is given by integral a to b f of x dx. Integral a to b f of x dx. So any function, and third one, sum of all probability values. In case of a discrete random variable, sigma will come into picture. In case of a continuous random variable, this will come, integration. For discrete we take sigma, for uncountable infinite we take integration. Sum of all probabilities must be equal to 1. Total integration must be integral from minus infinity to plus infinity must be 1. So probability density function has to satisfy these three conditions. Probability density function has to satisfy these three conditions, or any function satisfying these three conditions is said to be a probability density function. Okay, so what is the last point? What is a cumulative distribution function? How do we define a cumulative distribution function? What is the other name for cumulative distribution function? Simply distribution. Okay, or simply I'll write just cumulative distribution, capital F of x. Other name to this is distribution function. So how do we define this cumulative distribution? Capital F of x is equal to, can you guess now? Capital F of x equal to, now in the previous C case you see f of 3 is sum of the probabilities up to 3. F of 2 is sum of the probabilities up to 2. Now instead of sum, what I am asking you to do? Instead of sum, I am asking you to do integration. So sum of the probabilities, integration of the values up to x. X is up to upper limit. No, up to x means what? Less than from last value to x. What is the last value here? I am telling minus infinity. Minus infinity to x f of t dt. Always remember that whatever this symbol x and this symbol should not be same. Integrand variable and the upper limit should not be same. Most of the people do this mistake. In most of the books also it is written like this, which is absolutely a wrong notation. F of x, integral minus infinity to x, f of x dx is meaningless. Okay, we should not use whatever the symbol that you are using in the limits, same symbol you should not use. Okay, so this is the definition of the cumulative distribution function. Okay, now you can see that f of infinity is going to be 1. F of infinity has to be 1. F of minus infinity is going to be 0. And remember, note, for a continuous random variable, probability that x equal to x, probability that x taking a value is 0. There is no point in asking the probability at a single point. Please remember this. And this probability, see, probability that a less than x less than b is nothing but integral a to b f of x dx. I said, can I write it as integral minus infinity to b, sorry, f of x dx minus integral minus infinity to a f of x dx, sum of the probabilities up to b minus sum of the probabilities up to a. That will give the probability from a to b. Do you agree? So this is nothing but f of b minus, this is nothing but the cumulative probability, f of b minus f of a, f of b minus f of a. So probability can be computed through, this probability can be computed through cumulative probability also. Okay. So that is what about continuous random variable and the probability density function and the corresponding cumulative distribution function. Okay, so in today's class we understood what do you mean by random variable, and then we understood about probability distribution. Probability distributions are of two types. One is a discrete probability distribution, other one is the continuous probability distribution. Discrete probability distribution is called probability mass function. Continuous probability distribution is called probability density function. Okay, so in the next class we will do some problems related to this discrete random variables and continuous random variables, and followed by some statistical definitions on this random variables and probability distributions. Okay, so stopping this. And let me take the attendance.